Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Two Fellas online pub quiz. Welcome back, everybody. Another week, another quiz. This week, the quiz will run exactly the same as it has done for the last 22 quizzes. In respects to the fact we have our easy round, our theme round, which this week is on death. Don't know why, it's just what my head decided to write about this week. Then we'll have our music round, and following on our hard round. As ever, the links to the forms to submit your answers are in the description below the video. For anybody new joining this week, welcome. We are one of the few online pub quizzes that do live scoring as well. And this week, 4 beers deep already, we have the resident two fella, that is Rob. We'll get going very, very soon. We're just going to give a few minutes just for everybody to get ready, to get their drinks before we proceed. As every week, it helps us out if you make sure throughout the quiz you type your team name exactly the same. My suggestion, as ever, is to type your team name out, copy and paste it into a different document, and then keep copying and pasting that back just to make sure there are no mistakes going through. That helps us put all the scores together, and therefore we can get the scores to you quicker at the end. If you look into the chat, you'll notice I've posted a link to the Facebook page where I have done a rough cumulative, 5 beers now, Rob, a rough cumulative count of the scores from the 7 previous pub quizzes this year. None of you will be surprised to know that reigning top of that is, of course, the House Martins. The House Martins are 3-week champions, I believe, at this point in time. So knuckle down hard this evening and make sure you push as hard as you can to knock the House Martins off of their perch. Or House Martins, just keep going. You just do what you do. Good evening to everybody saying hello in the chat. Marcus, Anna, Peter, nice to see you all here. I just have a quick look at the numbers, how many people we've got. Lovely numbers, looking great. What else can we say just before we get going? If you want to order any of the Two Fellas beer or pizza, you can go through the website twofellas.beer, and you can put in an order for pizza and beer to be collected. The beer is served in 1-litre containers to take away, and it will stay fresh if you leave it unopened for up to 30 days. But I doubt you'll be able to leave it unopened for 30 days. The fellas are open every Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday from 5 until 9:30 in the evening for your orders. And if you're one of those lucky people who live within 1.5 kilometers of the Two Fellas pub, you can have your pizza and beer delivered to your door via Lieferando. If you enjoy the pub quiz, as ever, we have our link there for PayPal in the bottom left of your screen. If you go through PayPal with the email address donate@twofellas.beer, all donations are welcome, and they do help the pub keep running as we get ever closer, hopefully, to the end of the corona crisis, and then we can go back to pub quizzing in person. As I said, for anybody just joining, the quiz will run the same as it does every week. Links to the answer papers in the description below. They will open up periodically throughout the quiz. The first round will be our easier round, followed by our theme round, which is on deaf this week. Going on from there, it is our music round, and finally ending up on our harder round. So, as the clock ticks over to 7 minutes past 8, without further ado, let's get on with the questions. So, round 1, question 1. Rockhopper, Jackass, and Emperor are all types of what? Missing S there. There we go. First spelling mistake of the evening. Shots for everybody. On yourselves, though. Not from me. Rockhopper, Jackass, and Emperor are all types of what? Is your question 1. Just as a note, as we go through the quiz, as ever, you can also, if you miss any questions, use the little red bar below the video to scroll back and see any of the questions you've missed. Just make sure you drag it all the way back to the right to make sure you're caught up and following the quiz live afterwards. If you don't want to do that, you can drop a line into the chat, and either myself or Rob will repeat the question in there for you. Good evening, Callum. So question 1, Rockhopper, Jackass, Emperor are all types of what? Let's go. Question 2. 2. Which male lead starred in It's a Wonderful Life, Vertigo, and Rear Window? So which male lead, which male actor in the lead role starred in It's a Wonderful Life, Vertigo, and Rear Window? That's your question 2. Question 2 was which male lead starred in It's a Wonderful Life, Vertigo, and Rear Window? Let's move on. Question 3. Question 3. Which band famous for, amongst others, their song Use Somebody released their first new album in 5 years today, titled When You See Yourself? So which band famous for, amongst others, their song Use Somebody released their first new album in 5 years today, titled When You See Yourself? So question 3. Which band released the album today, When You See Yourself? Previously had a hit with the song Use Somebody, amongst other songs that they had hits with. Question 3, one more time, is which band famous for, amongst others, their song Use Somebody, released their first new album in 5 years today, titled When You See Yourself? Question 4, which capital city with a Mediterranean shoreline is pictured here? So which capital city with a Mediterranean shoreline is pictured here? I'll make that bigger for you. So question 4, which capital city with a Mediterranean shoreline is pictured here? Question 5, which former French president was sentenced to jail time this past week? So which former French president was sentenced to jail time this past week? So one more time, is which former French president was sentenced to jail time this past week is question 5. Let's get on with question 6. Mount St. Bernard, Tréfontaine, Notre Dame de Orval, and Westmaler are all examples of what particular type of brewery? So Mount St. Bernard, Tréfontaine, Notre Dame de Orval, and Westmaler are all examples of what particular type of brewery? Question 6. Mount Saint Bernard, Tres Fontaine, Notre Dame de Orval, and Vestmal are all examples of what particular type of brewery? Let's get on 7. Which actor, famous for amongst other things his impression of Trump on Saturday Night Live, left Twitter this past week over his use of irony on the platform? Which actor, famous for amongst other things his impression of Trump on Saturday Night Live, left Twitter this week over his use of irony on the platform? I believe it was in regards to a speech at the Golden Globes. Question 7, last time. Which actor, famous for amongst other things his impression of Trump on Saturday Night Live, left Twitter this week over his use of irony on the platform? Moving on, question 8. Which two football teams play at this stadium? So, which two football teams play at this stadium? The stadium won't look like that for much longer. Question 8. Which two football teams play at this stadium? On with 9. In the Blade trilogy of films, which actor played the title character? In the Blade trilogy of films, which actor played the title character? So in the Blade trilogy of films, which actor played the title character? Is your question 9. And finally, on to question 10. Directed by Chloe Zhao, which film won the Best Picture at the Golden Globes? Seem to have gone for a lot of movie questions this round. Directed by Chloe Zhao, which film won Best Picture at the Golden Globes? Okay, those are your 10 questions from the easier round. You have until 1:30 to submit your answers. So have your answers in by 1:30. So click submit before then to make sure they get marked. After that, the answer page will lock, and then I will start going through the answers for the round. So answers in within the next 5 minutes. So there's the map from question 4 for you to mull over. Okay, less than 3 minutes to get your answers in. Hey, Evie. Okay, less than 2 minutes. Click submit as soon as you can. Less than a minute. Click submit as soon as you can. Okay. It's half past. Therefore, click submit now. Otherwise, you won't be able to. Alright, so in a moment, we'll go through the answers. Confirm that they're locked. And you can judge how well you did. By the end of the quiz, we can see how well you've done. Right, we'll get on with it. Rockhopper, Jackass, Emperor are all types of penguin. The male lead that starred in It's a Wonderful Life, Vertigo, and Rear Window was James Jimmy Stewart. The band, famous for, amongst others, their song "Use Somebody," that is released their first new album in 5 years today, are Kings of Leon. Back to torture you once again. The capital city that has a Mediterranean shoreline that's pictured here is Tunis. The former French president that was sentenced to jail time this past week was Nicolas Sarkozy. Mount Saint Bernard, Tréfontaine, Notre Dame de Orval, and Westmalle are all examples of Trappist beers. They're all made by monks. There's only 12 Trappist breweries left in the world. There was 13 until one ran out of monks. So they were no longer a Trappist brewery. The actor famous for, amongst other things, playing Trump on Saturday Night Live was Alex Baldwin. He made an ironic statement over Gillian Anderson's accent at the Golden Globes, I think it was. The two football Teams that play at this stadium are AC Milan and Internazionale, or Inter Milan, as they're more commonly known. Nine Blade is played by Wesley Snipes in the trilogy of films. And 10, the film that won Best Picture at the Golden Globes was Nomadland, directed by Chloe Zhao. Those were your 10 questions and answers for round 1. We now move on with our theme round. Our theme round is on death in its many forms. I know, happy subject. I don't know why I chose it. I just did. I couldn't think of anything else. It's the first thing that pops into my head, so I couldn't be bothered thinking of anything else after that. So round 1. Round 2, question 1. Which device that became a preeminent symbol of the Reign of Terror was used in revolutionary France to chop off the heads of the enemies of the revolution? So which device that became a preeminent symbol of the Reign of Terror was used in revolutionary France to chop off the heads of the enemies of the revolution? Caddy says a pencil sharpener. That would be a horrendous, long and slow and painful death. Imagine that being in Final Destination in the films. Oh my God, I haven't thought of that movie. And how long it would be. Oh my God, he's dying. You have no idea how stressed I get when I'm behind one of those yeah, 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 yeah. For me, I think it was Final Destination 3 and the engine coming out of a truck and flying through a building and killing somebody. On to question 2. The Zapruder film is associated with the death of who? The Zapruder film is associated with the death of who? You want to see Callum's new pet? What is it? Don't know. What's your new pet, Callum? I could ask you in a message. So question 2 is the Zapruder film is associated with the death of who? Question 3. Death in Venice, or Der Tod in Venedig, is a novella by which Nobel Prize in Literature winner? Awardee? So Death in Venice is written by who? Not as impressed anymore, is she? I think so. Question 3. Death in Venice. They're talked in Venedig is a novella by which Nobel Prize in Literature winner? On to question 4. Who was the longest serving Soviet dictator who died on this day in 1953? Who was the longest serving Soviet dictator who died on this day in 1953? Question 4. Who was the longest serving Soviet dictator who died on this day in 1953? So we play with the dog's attention. On to question 5. Originating in 1985, what is the name for the tongue-in-cheek award awarded to those who have successfully contributed to human evolution by removing themselves from the gene pool? So, originating in 1985, what is the name for the tongue-in-cheek award awarded to those who have successfully contributed to human evolution by removing themselves from the gene pool? Question 5, one more time. Originating in 1985, what is the name for the tongue-in-cheek award awarded to those who have successfully contributed to human evolution by removing themselves from the gene pool? That is either through death or maiming to the point they can't reproduce. On to question 6. Complete the idiom first recorded in the Cobbler of Preston by Christopher Bullock in 1716. 'Tis impossible to be sure of anything but death and... So complete the idiom first recorded in the Cobbler of Preston by Christopher Bullock, 1716. 'Tis impossible to be sure of anything but death and... One more word. That's all you need. One more time on that. Complete the idiom, first recorded in the Cobble of Preston by Christopher Bullock. It is impossible to be sure of anything but death and... Seven. To which famous US bank robber does this death mask belong? So to which famous US bank robber does this death mask belong? On with question 8. In which year did Hugo Chavez die? The former, since deceased, dictator of Venezuela. So in which year did Hugo Chavez die? It's more of a memory test. Average score for round 1 was 7.24. And we had 4 teams coming out with maximum points. Question 8 was, in which year did Hugo Chavez die? Just a graveyard of Eevee toys, isn't it? Question 9. In ancient Greece, who was the personification of death, the son of Nyx, of the night, and Hypnos of sleep? So ancient Greece, who was the personification of death, was also the son of Nyx, of the night, and Hypnos of sleep. So one more time, question 9. In ancient Greece, who was the personification of death, the son of Nyx, of the night, and Hypnos of sleep? On with question 10. With lids depicting one of the fours, I don't know why there's an S there. With lids depicting one of the four sons of Horus, what is the name for the 4 jars used to store the viscera as part of the mummification process? So with lids depicting one of the 4 sons of Horus, what is the name for the 4 jars used to store the viscera as part of the mummification process? So those are your questions for round 2. If you need anything repeating, either drag the little slider back at the bottom of the video stream or post into the chat, and myself or Rob will repeat the questions for you. You have until the top of the hour to get your answer papers in. Use this time also to refill your drinks, go to the bathroom, or do whatever you need to do. And we'll be back at the top of the hour. So get your answers in by the top of the hour. Less than 3 minutes to get your answers in. Click submit now. Click submit now, or you'll miss out on getting your answers submitted. Get your answers submitted now. Okie dokie, let's go on with the answers. The device that was became preeminent symbol of the reign of terror was the guillotine. The Zapruder film is associated with the death of John F. Kennedy. Death in Venice was written by Thomas Mann. The longest serving Soviet dictator who died on this day in 1953 was Joseph Stalin. The award originating in 1985, that is a tongue-in-cheek award, awarded to those who have successfully contributed to the human evolution by removing themselves from the gene pool, is the Darwin Award, won last year by two Texans who decided to drive up a bridge that was open and had been open for days. They even got out of their car, lifted up the barrier, got back in the car, and drove up the bridge, drove into the water, obviously, and died. 6. The idiom is completed with the word taxes. 'Tis impossible to be sure of anything but death and taxes. The famous bank robber to whom this death mask belongs is John Dillinger. The year in which Hugo Chavez died was 2013. In ancient Greece, the personification of death was Thanatos, who was the son of Nyx of the night and Hypnos of sleep. And the 4 jars that are used to store the viscera are canopic jars, Kanopen in German. There we go. So those are your answers for round 2. Next, we'll be going on with our music round. In the music round, you should open up the answer paper that is linked in the description below, and you have artist and song name to identify. So what you need to do is identify the original artist and the song name. from these covers. At the end of the quiz, I will link all of the covers you're about to hear into the description. Obviously, I haven't done that yet because otherwise you just know the answers. So, yes, you'll hear 10 songs. I want the Thanatos is the sun. I want the name of the artist and of the name of the song as well. I'll just give everybody a minute to open up the paper, get familiar with it, and then we'll get going. You are right there, Lisa. Right. Let's get on with the music round. You'll hear all of the songs twice, so you'll hear 1 to 10 once, and then you'll hear them all again. Good luck. He says, and then the media source doesn't begin. 1 second. Apologies, my iCloud has decided to remove this file from my computer. I'll be back in a second.
What's wrong?
Women wait till they gotta be great. I just took a DNA test. Turns out I'm 100% that bitch. Even when I'm crying crazy, I got boy problems. That's a human in me. Main thing that I solve them, that's a goddess in me. I could have been a bad bitch, non-committal. about the way I was. Did the heartbreak change me? Maybe, but look at where I ended up. Oh, I'm all good already. Summer kids for food. Weather changes mood.
I've been trying to call. I've been on my own for long enough. Maybe you can show me how to love. Maybe I'm going through withdrawals. You don't even have to do too much.
Year one was lots of fun, but nothing lasts forever in my dreams. Two, I followed you because you knew the way, or so it seemed. Three, I still believe we would be becoming destiny. At four. Stuck here in these walls, so sick to my stomach. Is anybody there? Red lights in the darkness. Everyone's so heartless. Does anybody care? It's so hard to explain with your heart in a cage. Only whisper, but you wanna shout. 'Cause the second you wake, too much pressure to take. Every part of you wants to cry out. It's hard for...
I'm through with standing in line to pubs I'll never get in. It's like the bottom of the ninth and I'm never gonna win. Life hasn't turned out quite the way I want it to be.
Tell me what you want.
I want a huge sail that'll hold the squalls and a big black ship with some cannonballs. Don't wanna join Davy Jones 20,000 leagues under the sea. So how you gonna do it? I'm gonna trade this life for fortune and fame. I'd even grow my beard and change my name.
teatro noi coemi mone ecto en ai monen espera Boreu peuntos extoridos heos horau talamon demi atu me ascolto udese si nexo udunan tai makue.
What's wrong?
Women wait till they gotta be brave. I just took a DNA test, turns out I'm 100% that bitch. Even when I'm crying crazy, I got boy problems that's a human in me. Anything that I solve them, that's a goddess in me. I could have been a bad bitch, not committal.
Did a full 180, crazy, thinking about the way I was. Did the heartbreak change me? Maybe, but look at where I ended up. Oh, I'm all good already.
Summer kids for food. Weather changes mood.
I've been trying to call. I've been on my own for long enough. Maybe you can show me how to love. Maybe I'm going through withdrawals. You don't even have to do too much.
Year one was lots of fun, but nothing lasts forever in my dreams. Two, I followed you because you knew the way, or so it seemed. Three, I still believe we would be becoming destiny. At four.
Stuck here in these walls, so sick to my stomach. Is anybody there? Red lights in the darkness. Everyone's so heartless. Does anybody care? It's so hard to explain with your heart in a cage. Only whisper, but you wanna shout. 'Cause the second you wake, too much pressure to take. Every part of you wants to cry out. It's hard for...
I'm through with standing in line to pubs I'll never get in. It's like the bottom of the ninth and I'm never gonna win. Life hasn't turned out quite the way I want it to be.
Tell me what you want.
I want a huge sail that'll hold the squalls and a big black ship with some cannonballs. Don't wanna join Davy Jones 20,000 leagues under the sea. So how you gonna do it? I'm gonna trade this life for fortune and fame. I'd even grow my beard and change my name.
teatro noi coemi mone ecto enai monen espera Boreu peunto sextoridos heos horau talamon deniatu medias scoton Udese sin nexo Udunantai macue
Well, there we go. Okay, so you have 5 minutes to get your answers in, to go over them, make sure you've got them correct, and get the answers submitted by 25 past. Hope you enjoyed those covers. It is taking an increasing amount of time to crawl through YouTube, finding covers that I can use for this music round. But as I say, at the end of the quiz, I will post all of the links to the songs that I've used into the description. So if you want to check any of them out later on, you can do. Some of which are exceptionally catchy and have got a little bit stuck in my head today. So 4 minutes to get your answers in, and then I'll reveal the answers for the music round. I like Jar 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 Binks. Let's see who will excel in this music round this week. I did crawl through the list of the top 100 songs on Apple Music at the moment. It was torturous. It was auto-tuned drivel. All right, 3 minutes to get your answers in. Hope you enjoyed the last song, which was apparently sung in ancient Greek. Or just Greek, I don't know. I think it said ancient Greek on the video description. Okay, less than 2 minutes to get your answers in. Make sure you click submit. Attic Greek. What round are we on? On the music round. Number 3. It's the harder round to go. Less than a minute to get your answers in. As soon as the clock hits 25 past, Rob will lock the answers. So less than a minute. Get the answers up. Okay, so it's 25 past. That means Rob has locked the answers, and we will go through them now. So, song 1 that you heard played in a Ukrainian folk music tradition was Rammstein with Deutschland. Song 2 was in Gabe the Dog's rendition, Camila Cabello with Havana. Song 3 was a Mumford & Sons style cover of Lizzo and Truth Hurts. Then 4 was Dua Lipa and Don't Stop Now. Before 5 and Nirvana with In Bloom. Then 6 was a Depeche Mode interpretation of The Weeknd's Blinding Lights. 7, the young kid whose voice was yet to break, was the Pretty Reckless and 25, and the dog has let off a massive fart. Oh my Jesus. Evie, stop wafting it. Oh. Fucking hell. 8 was Zoe Wees. And a song by the name of Girls Like Us. Before we got into the sea shanty version of Nickelback's Rockstar. And then finally, the 10th song, sorry, the dog's fart is really bad, was ABBA and Gimme, Gimme, Gimme. I hope you got the right amount of gimmies on that. Oh, bloody hell. Right, now we will go on to the harder round. So get your answer papers ready. And in the meantime, as you're getting your answer papers ready, don't forget, if you want to help support the two fellas and the pub quiz, go to PayPal and donate at twofellas.beer. All donations will help keep the pub going and will ensure survival for when the lockdowns are eased. So if you can, it will be greatly appreciated by the fellas if you feel that you can go through PayPal and donate at twofellas.beer. It will be very much appreciated. So on to the Zihada round. Question 1. With what term does, in the Oprah interview, Meghan Markle use to refer to the royal family? So with what term does, in the Oprah interview, as it has been teased, Meghan Markle use to refer to the British royal family? That is your question 1. So question 1, with what term does, in the Oprah interview, Meghan Markle use to refer to the royal family? Question 2, what is the main ingredient in tahini? What is the main ingredient in tahini is question 2. Question 2, what is the main ingredient of, tahini? On to question 3. An intrusion is the collective term for which group of insects? An intrusion is the collective term for a group of which insects? I put the which in the wrong place, didn't I? An intrusion is the collective term for a group of which insects? Missed out the word term as well. Woo-wee. Question 3. An intrusion is the collective term for a group of which insects? On to question 4. In which organ do T cells mature/develop? So in which organ do T cells mature/develop? Yeah, the dog hasn't knocked me out completely. So in which organ do T cells mature/develop is question 4. On to question 5. Watch this advertisement, if this works. I hope this works. Watch this advertisement, and I want you to tell me what is it an advertisement for and who is singing the song. So which artist sings the song that's in the background? Hopefully, won't get blocked by YouTube. We'll find out. So on question 5, I want you to watch this advertisement. And then tell me, what is it an advertisement for and who is singing the song? Let's hope this works. That did work. What's this advertisement for?
And the rhythm of life is a powerful beat. Puts a tingle in your fingers and a tingle in your feet. Rhythm in your bedroom, rhythm in the street. Yes, the rhythm of life is a powerful beat. And the rhythm of life is a powerful beat. Puts a tingle in your fingers and a tingle in your feet. Rhythm in your bedroom, rhythm in the street. Yes, the rhythm of life is a powerful beat. Flip your wings and fly to your daddy.
So what was that an advertisement for, and who was singing the song? I'll give you a couple of seconds and I will play it again. So one more time just on that one, just make sure we haven't got blocked.
And the rhythm of life is a powerful beat. Puts a tingle in your fingers and a tingle in your feet. Rhythm in your bedroom, rhythm in the street. Yes, the rhythm of life is a powerful beat. And the rhythm of life is a powerful beat. Puts a tingle in your fingers and a tingle in your feet. Rhythm in your bedroom, rhythm in the street. Yes, the rhythm of life is a powerful beat. Flip your wings and fly to your daddy.
So what was that an advertisement for, and who was singing the song that was used as the music? That was your question 5. On to question 6. Hollywood icon Steve McQueen gave a forgettable performance in which splotchy 1958 sci-fi film? So Hollywood icon Steve McQueen gave a forgettable performance in which splotchy 1958 sci-fi film? It's your question 6. Splotchy means... What's the definition of splotchy? You can have like a splotchy painting where paint is just sort of flicked at the canvas. You could have, if you had some sort of skin condition, you could have splotchy patches of it sort of dotted around. Splotches. Flecken. Flecken, sort of, it's a disjointed film. But also the word splotchy is quite, it's a bit of a key, a bit of a clue to the film. So Hollywood icon Steve McQueen gave a forgettable performance in which splotchy 1958 sci-fi film? On to question 7. Estimated at weighing in between 600 and 700 kilos, what is the largest known invertebrate? So estimated at weighing in between 600 and 700 kilos, what is the largest known invertebrate? Question 7. Estimated weighing in between 600 and 700 kilos. What is the largest known invertebrate? Let's get on with question 8. Which London road sign sold yesterday at auction for £37,000? It was roughly about £35,000 over the estimate. So which London road sign sold yesterday for £37,000? So one more time. Which London road sign sold yesterday for £37,000? I may or may have not chosen words quite carefully in that one. The Danube runs through which 4 European capitals? Is your question number 9. So the Danube River runs through which 4 European capitals? Is question 9. Question 9. The Danube River runs through which 4 European capitals? And finally, let's get on with question 10, the final question of the quiz. What event begins the Anno Urbis Condite, or AUC, the Roman expression for date in years? So which event begins the Anno Urbis Condite, or the AUC, the Roman expression for date in years? So, for example, our year 1 of our calendar, the Julian calendar, is begun supposedly with the birth of Jesus, 1 AD. But what begins the Roman, as in the Roman Empire's calendar that was called the Anno Urbis Condite, or AUC? What event begins that? Where is time measured from? Those are all of your questions for this week's quiz. Once you have your answers down, click submit. Have your answers submitted by 5 to the hour. Four minutes to get your answers in. So 2 minutes to get your answers in. Get your answers in as quickly as you can. Oh, Joe. Okay, less than a minute. Hurry up and click submit. Get your answers in. All right. 30 seconds to lock. Rob says we've got 36 teams playing this week. So thank you everybody for turning up and supporting the pub quiz. It means a lot. This is our 22nd online pub quiz. And we'll be back next week for the 23rd. All right, let's get on with the answers. Question 1. The term that Meghan Markle uses to refer to the royal family, amongst other people. Even Prince Philip has used this term. The royal family has been called the firm. 2. The main ingredient to tahini is sesame. 3. An intrusion is an intrusion of cockroaches. T cells mature/develop in the thymus. The advertisement that you witnessed was the advertisement for Guinness, and the song was Rhythm of Life by Sammy Davis Jr. 6. The splotchy 1958 film was a keyword there because it was the blob that blobs along and captures people in its blobbiness. It's crap. Estimated at weighing in between 600 and 700 kilos, the largest known invertebrate is the colossal squid, aptly named Bigus squidus. The London road sign, the reason I couldn't explain it anymore in the chat because I might give it away, the London road sign that was sold yesterday for £37,000 was for Abbey Road, where, of course, many bands have recorded albums, but most infamously, or most famously, was the Beatles with their album titled Abbey Road. 9. The Danube River runs through Vienna, Budapest, Bratislava, and Belgrade. And 10. The event that begins the Anno Urbis Condite, or the AUC, is the founding of Rome. The founding of Rome in 753 or 754 BC by our calendar began the AUC of the Roman calendar. Okay, we'll have the answers with you in about 5 minutes. Rob's just working his way through. In the meantime, thank you to everybody for coming along for the pub quiz. To have 36 teams playing is pretty spectacular. So thank you everybody for attending. If you want to support the pub, you can follow the Two Fellas Brewery on Instagram. You can follow the pub quiz and Simon Does Pub Quiz on Facebook for any updates. And if you are really kind and generous, the fellas would very much appreciate it if you are kind enough to donate via PayPal with the address donate at twofellas.beer. It will be very much appreciated. And the dog says it would also be appreciated and she'll stop farting as much. Just give us a couple more minutes and we'll have the scores with you. We're almost there. Okay, it's tight at the top. We had 36 teams playing for 25 places. In 25th place, on 12.5 points, is Two Fellas One Pub. Just ahead of them on 24th place with 16 points is AstraZeneca Ultras. In 23rd place with 17 points is Balkan Connection. In 22nd on 19 points is Moscow Mule. Just ahead of them, on 21st place with 19.5 points is Lurtzy and Larry. Then Bacon Salad in 20th place with 23 points. Then comes the Excelsiors with 23.5 points in 19th place. Before in joint 18th place with 24 points each is either D-Tools or Die Tools and Soren and Friends. In joint 17th place, half a point ahead, 24.5 points, we've got Linz and Friends and Junk in the Trunk, Johan and the Jizzers. In 16th place, we've got two teams tied on 25 points. It's the Teddy Bears and Regulars Oldham Ruffians. In 15th place, Never Regulars, Jimmy Buffett Fan Club with 25.5 points. Before, in joint 14th place, on 26 points, we've got Hexenhunder and Don't Fucking Clap. In 13th place with 26.5 points is Team Steve. And in 12th place, guessing this is the Irish, on 27.5 points is Restart Quiz, please. In 12th place on 27.5 points, 12th place is Restart Quiz, please. In 11th place, we've got four teams tied on 28 points. They are Udo and the Jurgens, Rollo Sin Polo, Pandemic at the Disco, and King Sperm. All regulars. In 10th place on 30 points, we have Fancy Jams. In 9th place on 30.5 is Fart Garfunkel. In 8th place with 31 points is Mild Red Hot Chili Peppers. In 7th is Survivors of Los Angeles. In 6th place on 32.5 points is the House Martins. In 5th place on 33 points is Mouse of Flying Daggers. Then in 4th place, we have three teams tied, and they are Shaun of the Pickle, Sharp Attack, and the Duxarotta. As well as, Copious Coochie. That brings us down to our top three places, which are occupied by four teams. In joint third on 34.5 points, we've got Ersatzschiederichte Mannschaftsauswahl and the BHHs. Which brings us down to our final two. And they are, in second place, with 38 points, is Cabarage. Which means our winners in first place with 42.5 points are Living La Vida Lockdown. So congratulations to Living La Vida Lockdown. Congratulations to everybody who's played. Thank you for attending and supporting the pub quiz. If you've enjoyed the pub quiz, please don't forget to, if you wish, donate via PayPal. Also hit the like button on the video stream, and don't forget hey, baby was born. Congratulations to baby Lucy on taking her first steps. Christ, that seems like a long time ago. Yes, and subscribe. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, and I'll also throw the scores onto Facebook at Simon Does Pub Quiz, which you can follow for any updates to the pub quiz coming up over the coming weeks. So thank you to everybody for playing, and I'll see you again, same time, same place, next week. Good night.